Alright, United Nations Hidden Cup 2, best of 3, round of 16. This is hidden identities. Players are ranging from 1100 elo to 1900 elo, and they never know who they are playing until the very end, unless they're really good at guessing it. Dionysus with the... Yeah, all these civs have arballists, I guess, so while Nyx seems to enjoy cavalry more, and maybe monks. In theory, this could be a Mysel pick with the Aztecs and Italians, both good monk civilizations, and then Frank's Huns as like wild cards. Vietnamese, Burgundians, Mongols, Poles, home maps, slopes for Dionysus, and cross for Nyx. Let's just have a look at the first game. Dionysus with the Mongols first pick. Scuba Steve, is this you? if we see 20 pop straight archers with Mongols here now, that's, or maybe even 19, that's Scuba Steve, confirmed. But it wasn't the first Civ drafted. Vietnamese was the first drafted Civ. And Mongols could also be Cav archers, could be Papaya Pit maybe. Opening with the Mongols, archers into Cav archers, even scouts into Cav archers. There's just no way to tell just yet. Scuba will pick purple to imitate me, says Dedo. Ah, okay. So we're... But then who's green? I mean, I know Papaya Pit likes green just as much as me. We have to fight over the green color, so when it doesn't get green, it takes teal instead. Or cyan, if you will. But, yeah, frags. One of my favorite civs, actually. And obviously a decent 1v1 Arabia civilization. So look at the scouting pattern as well. Both of these sheep so far out, no sheep scouting whatsoever. Nyx, why aren't you scouting with the sheep? You'd think Nyx thought he has a Mongols bonus here, but yeah, sheep highly lameable here, especially since Dionysus is the Mongols and apparently struggling to... Nah, Dionysus has all the sheep. 0 idle time for both though, so solid openings. 6 on sheep for Dionysus, 6 on sheep for Nyx as well. Now bringing the boar back home here. Berries on the hill, not ideal, but at least they're in the back. So we could wall towards the edge of the map maybe. Not using the garrison trick. I don't know if that's a giveaway for anyone. It's still a good boar placement. And also... Ooh! There was a discussion in the United Nations Discord on whether to finish the sheep first and then go to the hunt, or just go straight for the hunt and not care about the sheep. And Karadrime was participating in that discussion, claiming, I think, that would make sense to eat the sheep first and then go for the boar after. 2 muscle civs drafted as well, but again, no Incas, so I'm not sold on this being Karadrime, and why Franks for game 1. Couple of houses here for Dionysus. Also bringing the second board pushed into deer. This could be a scout's opening, looking at the wood disposition here. But for example, 21 pop men at arms, it's quite common to just go for 3 on wood anyway. And yeah, I agree on the boar thingy. You take the boar first because, or you take the boar and you don't care about the sheep and take the boar because the boar, yeah, there's more meat on it as well. It simply collects more and faster. So Doom incoming, 18 pop. Is this 18 pop scouts? Who enjoys playing scouts other than being here? I would play Mongols first game as well, by the way, but I would... Oh, maybe I would have 50 seconds idle time going up early like this. That's a real significant idle time with the Mongols here. I guess we're not still dealing with Scuba Steve after all. Maybe it's a rusty Deno. It is Deno's color after all. But beating the Franks marginally to it. Of course, Nyx is going to go up to the feudal age at a much stronger economy here, with 2 more villagers going up, and in the end only 15 seconds away. Barracks going up to form part of the wall here as well. Risky to go that far out with the barracks building builder, especially when the enemy scout is on the way like this. And Dionysus also has the slightly faster feudal age here. It's not going to matter all that much. Ooh, Nyx just barely passing that one. 18 seconds idle time for Nyx as well. But with that said, there could also be hotkey issues here causing these idle times. This is game 1 after all. It's a new user. You need to set and adapt the hotkey profiles. Barracks timing a bit off here for Dionysus. Could it be first game jitters here with the purple player? Is also idling out the villager at the house, but now tasking them to complete that barracks, and they'll essentially be dropping the stable at exactly the same moment here. Both using 2 villagers to build it. Tiny head start for Dionysus here, but that builder advantage that's lost through the idle time in the Dark Age. Now the Franks are at an advantage, because Franks get 20 extra hit points on the scouts instantly. So it leaves them at 54 hit points. So since there wasn't any significant next age advantage here for the Mongols in terms of uptime, the scouts numbers are going to be somewhat identical as well. It looks like Nyx is going into more of a spear defense mode, though, as Dionysus finds an exposed villager, the walling villager. Looks like some quick wall attempts here, but not quite there yet. That 2 women completing that tile of wall, so as just to try and keep the aggression out here. Gonna need to wall to the edge of the map as well, though. So somewhat ambitious walling here from the green player. I'll go there. Feels good, man. So obvious, not you. What do you mean there's Franks here? There's Franks here and scouts and idle time. Why wouldn't I pick green? I'm used to seeing green on the map. And besides, Popeye Pete likes green as well. Here comes the blacksmith for Nyx here. Is Nyx going for an early defense here for the scouts or something? It's only 3 farms, the berries are depleted. Villagers on the berries are idling about. And they're actually, yeah, they're down to 52% worker efficiency. There's only 1 lumber camp, but the second one is going up now. And the last bit of walls coming up as well. Yeah, I take it back. This is not Karanrime, I think. Even though I speculated a bit. Five scouts for the Mongols player, food count higher, 15 on food, pretty healthy farming economy here. And I'd expect to see the purple player going up to the cast age much sooner than the Franks here, allowing for a Knight's follow-up, perhaps. Even against Franks it would make sense if you were much earlier to the next stage, or you could just Gogun Cav Archers or Archers into Arbs or whatever you like. Any unit will be pretty strong in the next stage anyway. Looks like the last bit of walls will complete here, so Dionysus' scouts, they haven't really done too much. They have 1 kill each, these players, and 0 eco kills. Dionysus, however, a higher idle TC time and hence is behind by roughly 1.5 villagers here. Two on gold for Nyx. That's probably just for the Castle Age transition. It's 16 farms by now. Franks do get potentially better farms depending on whether Dionysus started seeding the farms over here, but it's 17 farms to 16, so their food economies are actually comparable, but Nyx... Why is Nyx so behind in the progress here? There's no spearmen, and yeah, just lacking food. Maybe too many on wood here for the transition towards the next stage. House Foundation going up there to keep the aggression out. Still no Castle Age kicked for Nyx, and it's going to be a while until Nyx does so. However, Dionysus is halfway there, getting an advantage. What's the disposition here? 16 farms. And now the second lumber camp on wood. Not seeing any ranges, artillery range foundations being dropped here. Could it be a night siege push against the Franks here? And some spears joining in as well. 3 on stone now for Nyx. Think about defensive towers or even a castle with the Franks. Franks have cheaper castles, and this, for example, would be a decent castle spot to cover the TC and the stone. And most importantly, the main gold. Dionysus' house is under attack. It's just Nyx just poking at the enemy base here. Castle Age is in, and Nyx still has almost 2 minutes to go. It's going to be the knights here from Dionysus. Double stable knights against the Franks, but I mean, once the Franks player gets to the next stage, you could just add camels as the Mongols. So you'll, if you already have some knights out, you could either fight in equal number or higher number of knights as the Mongols, or just mix in some camels as well and really shake things up a bit. Right, spear defense for Nyx now. Seeing what's up here, probably going to go straight for the pikeman upgrade, maybe. There's 6 spears out now. Straight 2 Ts for Franks. I'm not sure if this is... I mean, I guess it's because the base is safe. I mean, Dionysus won't be getting in anytime soon. There's stone being mined for a potential defensive castle. Gold mining now coming in as well, and Nyx is going into boom mode here. As is Dionysus, actually, two town centers for Dionysus, so 1 on stone. We might see Mangudai here in the later game. Pikeman is in for the Franks. That's almost... Yeah, it kind of messes with the head to see the pikemen, no, to see the Franks being in defense mode here. houses behind wall could be wildebeest. Are you saying that's a British thing, Akkal-AOE? Could be. I think wildebeest is a decent defensive player as well and enjoys the booming. Moving cav and bikes together. It's pretty damn slow when you do that. Dionysus with a tiny army advantage here and a higher army value, of course, having gone for double stable knights here. Not able to do anything to Nyx's home base though. It's either a Mysel thing or someone else don't play a style of, and I don't know wildebeest style. Yeah, I've seen Mysel do this kind of movement, but Mysel would have a third unit in here like a skirmisher, or a Mysel would have made monks already. That's the thing. So I don't think either of these players are Mysel. Yeah, keeping the aggression out, no problem. And bringing the units back as well. Nyx with slightly more military than Dionysus here, but nothing too crazy. However, having the pikemen in the mix here is going to clean out these knights, no problem. If it comes to a fight between these guys. The upgrades are better for Nyx with the Franks as well. +1/+1 compared to Dionysus' only 1 attack here. Oh, 4 or 5 builders moving out. That's a decent castle, isn't it? It covers the 30 gold over here and the stone for potential war castles. So then you'll place your next castle maybe here or here, depending. So you keep your base nice and safe and just lean back and boom. Dionysus wants to get the castle up as well. You know what? If Mongols get to Mangadai here, to a huge chunk of Mangadai, or even Cav Archers, could still play Cav Archers as the Mongols here, and Franks would struggle. I see one range is up, so I assume that's mainly for the Mangadai upgrades. But the eco setup seems more healthy for Dionysus here. Resources aren't really being spent here, but the oh, there's just more in the bank to use. Could even attempt for Imperial Age here if the if Dionysus spots the. I've seen the foundation actually, so might just want to rush the Imperial Age and contest this castle through Trebs and whatnot. Why are you so tilted by units moving together? Who do you think this is? We don't really know. Akkal-AOE says maybe wildebeest for green, since we don't know his style. Scuba Steve! Yeah, we saw the Mongols pick for first game, so it has to be you. Except it's not archers, so it can't be Scuba Steve. Home map is home maps are cross and yeah, I don't remember, but There are... Yeah, but it's Mongols, you never know, it's true. And we are probably going to see Mangudai here. They're already in the making, actually. That's going to be a pain in the ass for the Franks as the game moves on, because Franks don't really have... they don't have skirmishers, or they have skirmishers, they're just shit. So they're going to then have to rely on other kinds of units to deal with the Mangudai. Mongols have the fastest or the strongest hussars in the game as well. So have some nice late game raiding potential. What is this KD after 30 minutes? It's a passive, boomy game from both ends. They both just went for 2 and 3 TCs, and Dionysus, however, even after being slower to the third TC, it's actually ahead in villagers here, so more consistent TC production. Collected 1 relic as well. Maybe Bysel has just completely turned the playstyle around and enjoys Mongols these days. I wouldn't know. Yeah, we should have someone make player showcase cards so we could look at some recognizable things about the players. My games are always 100 KD after 30 minutes. Yeah, there's not even a single villager that is 7 KD. So the players are very hesitant to engage against each other, at least. Could actually be to, if we disregard the idle TC time early on, which could also be related a bit to hotkeys, this could actually be 2 very high level players because of the hesitancy to engage and not take needless fights. Or they just enjoy the Imperial Age, I wouldn't know. Decent chunk of Frank's knights here, and I didn't even realize that Nyx had gone to the Imperial Age here. So that would explain the villager difference, of course. Plate parting armor and cavalier coming in, that should be able to deal with the Mangudai if they're sandwiched in this area. Nyx losing a couple of units, but it's all an elaborate play to... Oh, almost! But the Mangudai are faster, they move 0.05 tiles faster than the Cavaliers with Husbandry. 8-7 KD, still very hesitant to engage, I should say. Both castles now producing the Mangudai, 17 Mangudai and counting for Dionysus, still booming away as well. Here comes a monastery to heal up weak units or convert cavaliers here, but Nyx could also dive in for the raid here. It's actually a decent engagement, but these knights are expendable for Dionysus at this point. Dionysus is going into Mangudai, so the clock is ticking now for Nyx to take out Dionysus' castles here. Otherwise, Nyx is going to be overwhelmed by mass Mangudai, and there's not much for Nyx to do to stop full Mangudai from the Mongols. Oh, but the Mangudai are gone! Only 3 Mangudai left now for Dionysus heading into the Imperial Age. Nyx is diving in with the Cavalier now, getting some good raids in here, placing a lovely forward castle in the middle as well. And didn't see the GG, but the game ends right then and there. Nyx takes the first game with the faster Imperial Age and full-on Cavalier investment. Interesting. Yeah, lots of resources in the bank, you're right. But what are you going to do with them? You're set up for Mangudai and you're lacking the castles. You're losing the castle. You're losing the Mangudai as well. Just well played by Nyx, I guess. This looks more like true low-elo legends. Really? Really? Because resources aren't being spent? I mean, it's very, very... Look at the KD, 54-13 now. It was like 0-0. Neither player lost a villager until minute 25. I disagree, Akkal-AOE. I think these are higher level players, but they struggle with the the hotkeys on the new user. Don't think it's more than 1500 plus. Maybe we're in the middle area of the bracket. Could be. Right. We've had Mongols losing 2 Franks. Now we have Aztecs, Huns, and Italians left, and the maps are cross and slopes, which means we'll be seeing is it slopes or am I dreaming? I think it's slopes. Yeah, we're gonna see slopes again. They both had a plan. They were going to scouts. Scouts hit the boom. Okay, so for slopes, I have no idea what Dionysus means to pick from these civilizations here for slopes. Oh, Ethiopians. Laddie, is that you? Yeah, I honestly don't know what kind of civs you'd use for slopes here. I'd probably go with the cavalry civs if I'm Nyx here. Italians probably the cross pick. Burgundy is probably the cross pick for Dionysus, so that leaves us with Poles, Vietnamese, Aztecs, Huns. Let's go with Huns. Poles, just for the fun of it. And see what they're going for. Huns, Vietnamese. Yeah, but it's not Incas, so then it's picking other Meso civs. Commander enjoys the Incas eagles, not so much the other civilization eagles, but we have seen very little Meso civs play, and we still haven't seen the Meso civs picked either. So maybe it's all just mind games. And I said slopes for some reason. I just I was wrong. It's gonna be cross, of course. They're sticking with the colors, green versus purple here. So let's pick Deno for Dionysus again. Deno's been guessed 6 times or something already, so. So wouldn't hurt with a few more. Oh yeah, that's Cross. Cross has the relics in the corners here. There's some relics in the middle of the map. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then there's the extra incentive to contest the ponds for the very late game because of the relics in the corners. And there's obviously some extra golds. More towards the middle of the map actually, but yeah, some extra golds around here as well. Yeah, we've been kind of using a fake account called uTurtle Tower and then turtle in that hidden cup, you're right, yeah. Well, I love hunts for cross. Once you get the economy running, you never need to worry about houses, which means you can more easily focus on getting your fish boom and TC running at all times, and, well, not at all times, but you know, and focus on army and micro instead. It's just one element taken out of the equation for the hunts. You need to get there, of course. It's a tiny bit of a setback to have to collect wood earlier or more wood before dropping the dock, because you start with 100 less wood as the hunts. But the fact that you don't need to build houses at the start already, of course, evens out that by 50 wood. So it's just 50 less hunts, 50 less wood for hunts to start, like realistically, since you're not building the first few houses. Oh, TC's Rick. Seems successful enough. So who enjoys Vietnamese? Papaya Pit maybe? Mongols, Vietnamese. What was the draft again? Burgundians, Poles. If I didn't have Papaya Pit for someone else, maybe I would go with Papaya Pit for Dionysus after all. But that chat in the slopes game I don't remember which player it was, but that chat was so typical Papaya Pete. Essentially wolf. Yeah, so maybe it's can't just wait around and hope for you to disconnect. That's what he wrote before the GG. So that's a very Papaya Pete thing to do. Well then, Hans getting the fish rolling as well. Small walls are on the dock here, just in case the enemy scout pops up and wants to snipe your docking villager. And same thing for Dionysus. That's a late dock actually compared to the... I mean, honestly, it's... I mean, I'm surprised the Huns are out to the fishing ship first here. Looks like we're going for pretty extensive walls as well. It's not too uncommon for Cross and 4 legs, of course, but still a commitment. Is able to get to Rat and Halb or even just crossbow Skirb Halb, then it's a strong death ball. Yeah, everything we have, I mean, they're, as Scuba Steve says, they're second tier archer Steve. Very likely. They have extra hit points on the archers, and they have the Rat and Archer as well, which is a strong archer and kind of also a counter archer unit. Who is this Waller boy? And why is he getting away with it? Damn it, Nyx. Don't be so boring. It's ambitious walls though, they're really, I would say almost 1/4 of the map here. That's that should be punished somehow. Yeah, Cross has less fish, so you're probably right, Scuba Steve. Or actually not. It's... Yeah, if this were 4 legs, the big walls would make more sense, right? Because there would be more fish, I think. So even if you control multiple ponds, it's not that a big of a deal. But on Cross, I guess it makes more sense. You don't want to give up. And I haven't really scouted the ponds either. Where's the green scout? Why aren't you out checking what Dionysus is up to, Nyx? Nyx is going for a range. And probably gonna drop a blacksmith as well, unless this is a double range play. But there's not really enough on gold for that yet. So I think it's just range blacksmith. At least drop the blacksmith, come on. There's lots of wood in the bank. Yeah, double ranges. Fair enough. Gonna need more gold for that, but that's probably not an issue. And with these extensive walls for Nyx, it should also be hard to keep the aggression out, because it's not that easy to small wall or quick wall archers play out. Population for Nyx at 34 eco units now, 26 villagers to the 23 of Dionysus, who is running higher on the ILTT time again. Blacksmith stable for Nyx, and Nyx is just going full wall of straight past castle here. Not a coward. I think it's going to be very useful against the double range archers play of Dionysus, though, because Dionysus is, even with some fish working here, is far behind that transition to the castle age. Could be a quick second game here with Nyx essentially going almost straight castle age here. He goes in the second stable as well. And it's like 8 fishing ships for shorefish, I guess. Yeah, you could. Eventually you'll be making fish traps as well, but is this fish food income from one pond enough to sustain double stables nights? Probably not, but here comes the second dock. Villager obviously has Lou. The scout is staying close as well, and just now checking the corner to confirm the corner. This feels like either a 1300, 1400 player who is used to being able to be a bit greedy, or a 1500, 1600 who is pretending to be a closed map player. Yeah. I guess we have some semi-clowns in the map here, in the matchups here. Archers moving forward though. Dionysus finally trying to punish the straight gas station of Nyx, but look at Nyx. Nyx has 50 seconds to go for the gas station. Dionysus will not be clicking up in at least another minute. Also, just one pond still for Dionysus. Only 5 fish. Going to spend the wood on double range archers instead. Has military numbers, momentum of course, and until Nyx gets the +2 defense for the knights, then the feudal age archers mass would still be somewhat viable, but you need to get to the castle age as well, and just ASAP really here if you're Dionysus. Castle age for Nyx at 17-ish minutes, 17:05 I think it was. And Dionysus wisely pulls away, doesn't want to risk this small group of archers being sniped by the first few knights. GG, well played is called, and maybe I need to rethink who does not know how to play Cross. It's Daddy. Are you Nyx? Are you Dionysus? Because I know he has really no idea about this map. He never plays it, doesn't enjoy it. So now I'm confused again. I'm going to have to make a guess on this guy, but seriously, I have no idea. That's a nice and quick one. Maybe a result of the first game as well, where Nyx did a great late game Franks against the Mongols. This is difficult. Didn't see any massive ponds contesting. I think he called it a few minutes too early. Yeah, I mean it's not like the Hans Knights would get in here, then you could contest the top lake if you have it scouted. But the scouting is really lacking here from Dionysus. I think he felt demoralized. Could be. Probably a result of the first game where you feel like you're in a decent spot and then you're just not able to do damage. And it's the first game we had with 0. Absolutely, I can't remember the last time I casted the game that had 0 kills. Not even a scout death. That is interesting. But GG, yeah. At least had the courtesy to call the GG, of course.